All right, so I think this is just easier for me to do this, and hopefully I won't F it up. But tell you a little bit about me. There's my one hombre number two. Those are my girls, and I've been published twice. Once by American Digger magazine on the history of Blackwood lumber, and once in MedSurge magazine, working on my thesis for my nursing. And these are all lumber company tokens that I have unearthed metal detecting. The state took over about a quarter, half acre, and so I'm a treasure hunter. These are more items from Blackwood lumber. Those are all buttons and harmonica. Those are all wheats. Um, Overall buttons, all kinds of stuff. And those are some of my girls. This one's dead. And I love to go metal detecting. I love looking for treasure. Those are some of my rings, coins, you name it. A little bit Jesus. I found Jesus. Found a nice old antique wrench. Found that in a state park. Didn't know it was state park. But so yeah, I collect stuff. My passion is Civil War hunting. Oh, that's bad. I just found that a year ago. That's a sword belt hanger, a lot of Civil War buttons. 1916 barber, but my big find was this baby. Come on. It's an 1853 $1 gold coin found on the New York Hill in Virginia. And I probably have, oh God, at least 500 Civil War bullets. So just so you know, I'm a true relic hunter. Those are friction primers. A lot of really rare bullets are in these and not in cases. That little round one right there, that's a Nesler bullet made at the School for the Deaf, Dumb, and Blind in Raleigh, North Carolina. It's worth about $300 or more. Guaranteed Confederate. And again, lots of buttons and brass. And so that's what I do. So I thought I really wanted to get this book when it came out. I just didn't want to spend $75. So I probably should have opened the book, but I got it over there. So what I did was draw a map. It's out of proportion. This should have been more over here, and it should have been bigger, but you get the gist of it. So, car north. Is it really north? Is it cardinal north? Is it the Catskills? Is it Salvage? Are the footprints, the footpath, the foothills, the Tar Heels? It could be the foothills. And then I looked at this. Is it angled like the coin? Kind of butterflies, all kinds. We talked about Craggy Gardens, Mount Mitchell, Lake Junaluska, sorry. But the butterfly means a lot in Cherokee heritage, so I really focused and did a lot of research on that. We also have the North Carolina Arboretum and Cherry Gap. And if you see numbers, they're mile markers. This, I think, is the most intriguing. And they do Olympic practice out in Bryson City and NOC, and it kind of does look like the torch for the Olympic. And the tryouts were actually held in Charlotte. So I think that's Lake Fontana. This, no clue. Another animal here. And are these roads and trails showing a more populated area? And then we have not on the AT. That is my big thing. It's got the AT with the two X's across it, saying that makes me think it's off the AT. And this is what got me to wire bald. The guy's bald. And so we go up here and we have Springer Mountain. Go fetch. I think it's Springer Mountain. This looks like the tower at Wyabald. And this looks like the tree in front of Wyabald. Elevation, a lot of numbers. And then we come down here, and I think that's a bear shadow. Not sure if this is a bolt of paper or Looking Glass Falls. I really thought it was a Looking Glass. But then there's also the slide down there. I forget the name of it. But it's all rock, and water goes over it, and the kids use it like a slide. And I was thinking it could be that. But we don't know what's a red heron and what's not. The bobcat I really felt was catamount. That's our people here, the catamounts, here in Cullowhee. And the skier, that could be anything. And there's actually a second skier up here. And there's also a wolf or a cat here. And the skier could just mean snow. You don't know. And he said that the AT box needs to be found in the summer because the Blue Ridge Parkway, the Appalachian Trail, the Mountain to Sea Trail, they all get closed if we get snow. What did I miss? This. Immediately I went, okay, because of him, that is Wyabald. That's where I'm going to look around. And then when I seen this, I said Barber's Orchard, which is the biggest orchard in western North Carolina. And then the feather. And yeah, they say it may be a quill. They may be writing something. But again, you have to think like John. He's like, did I make this too easy? And we're reaching out into the world of, I have people reading 80 million books to solve this puzzle when it's all right here. I think it's the One Feather, which is the newspaper for the Cherokee Indians. And the butterfly, the other option I thought for this, was the Cherokee do what's called the butterfly dance. And if you watch it, which I did, it looks a lot like that. So either or. I think this is Pisgah. That, I don't know. Is it just another reference that it's near Cherokee? Shadow of the Bear, I did lean toward Highlands. It's not on the Blue Ridge or the Appalachian Trail, so I said 86 it. Didn't even go. And then it's 2190 miles. And if we minus 1727, that takes us to mile marker 463. The other Cherokee is 482. So again, Cherokee would be like right in here. It means if it was on the Blue Ridge at 463, it would have to be over there. So the only 463 I could think of, I'll show you on the map. Is that High Trail, High Point, Trail Point? What is it? To me, there's a lot of bears. I think if we find this on a trail, the rocks, I think that'll be the clue we're almost there. And then to the end of the trail, we've got the 1727. It may say, if you turn it, it could say northwest. I mean, people are, who knows? And then I thought this in the corner was Chimney Rock. And this, I think, is a campsite. So I think somewhere toward the end of the trail, and it is really close. It's off by the bear. And then these are just all my possibilities. And then I looked at, Bear Pen Gap Trail, Rough Butt, and the intersection of 1727 and Blue Ridge Parkway. I've looked at so many stuff. This has me a little perplexed. Yes, it's Compass Rose. But if you look at a Compass Rose, on the south end, it has a circle. And this has it pointing, and there is a circle on the east side. So, is this south? And I just can't see us going south unless you know, you'd have to reroute everything and it wouldn't work out. So, oh, and I thought it was interesting that Isaac Newton died in 1727. And I also looked at other orchards in western North Carolina. So I did a lot of research on the clans, and I also went to the Department of Transportation for North Carolina and printed off a big chart with every State Road 1727. I actually hit the one in Nashville the other day. I didn't go to the end, but almost. But it's so far away, there's no way. But there is a State Road 1727 that intersects with the Blue Ridge Parkway, and it's called Crusoe Road. I've looked at kayaking and canoeing, and there's a couple places. I ruled out that it's in Highlands at the Shadow of the Bear. There's no way it could be there, it's too far. I've just got a whole bunch of info on places I'm interested. I did some conversions to see, did anything, is it related to elevation? And then I looked at that. Is that, and I, all this time I've been thinking Bakerfields had a play in this, and I'm wondering if my location is correct, that would be the direction from Bakersville. And so the only thing I've got 3 spots, and I'm going to cover the other 2 first, and then we'll come back to my map here. Okay, move, puppy. Come on. And so when I pull up the Blue Ridge Parkway, and actually some guy actually had the same solve, but he's south of where I am, I thought about, is this relevant? Is this relevant here? And I don't think so. We're not even up to Wireball. We're finally past Wireball. Okay. And then this guy was looking at this here, these 2 areas, and he actually has decided this is right here is his location, and he posted it, I think, today or yesterday. Well, if on the map that is a canoe just north of the bear with the arrow, it means no, it's not going to be here. You got to go north. And so my first inclination is the 463, which is here. And parking is at 460.5. And this road is Daniel Boone Trail, who was a bear hunter. So that kind of clicks in. So 463, I know Brad, who was in our group, was sure it was in Damascus, because I found a map that actually puts Damascus at 463. But this is the AT map, and they put it 463 here. I think that would be too simple. And maybe it is. I mean, maybe that's it. The elevation, I can't remember. It's like 3,700. So that's one of my guesses. I got to go south for the other guess. If we're looking at North Carolina, where the heck did I go? Am I off the trail? Yeah, I am. I think I'm too north. I'm sorry. I'm trying to make this as short as possible. Okay, there's Bryson City. Now let's see if we can find I-40. There's I-40. Oop, let me pull the map into view. So the only reason I'm looking at this area is if that looking glass is actually a bolt of paper or fabric, right about here. Excuse me. Is the largest paper mill in western North Carolina. Well, the only reason I was looking at this area Here's one. The water from the Pigeon River. And this parking right next to I-40. And it takes a bit to get there. You have to go way out of your way. I have to, go north and east and then come back way west to get there. But the reason I was looking at this area is because on either side of the trail, 1.5, 2 miles either way, the elevation is 1727. So that's why I was looking there. So those were my two first. Now we'll go back to my final one. So I thought, instead of looking at this with all the, let's see if we can make sense of it. So I started at Springer Mountain. And then we hit Big Cedar, Blue Mountain, Courthouse Bald, Dwyer Bald, Wesser Bald. And then we hit Cranberry Ridge Overlook. Now, right now we have split off the AT onto the Blue Ridge Parkway, and people were saying, are those apples, are those cranberries? Well, it doesn't matter. If we go to the Blue Ridge, we hit Cranberry Ridge Overlook and Orchid Overlook. Orchards, sorry. And then he talks about laurel trees and cedar trees, and I find those both on the map here. And I know James and I talked about Richland because it's the highest place. But then look, I think there's numerous bears on the trail, on the map. Here we have Bear Trail Ridge, Big Bear Trail Ridge, Bear Trap Gap, Little Bear Pen Gap. I put Caney Fork Overlook because I live on Caney Fork, and I went yeehaw because I've been up there and we love to go there. And then we have Bear Pen Gap Overlook, Rough Butt. Rough Butt is tons of rocks. So that could be where the rocks come in. And you can't get up Rough Butt unless you have a really cool suspension 4-wheel drive to get up Rough Butt. And Rough Butt is actually at the end of Caney Fork. And you can go over it, but you better have the biggest jacked up freaking 4-wheel drive or 4-wheeler, or you're not getting over that. Wolf Bald, and then we have a bunch of, I forget why I put Heron in. And then we had Courthouse Valley Overlook, and then here is an interesting, at mile marker 423.5 is, I don't know if it's state road or what, but it's 215. And if you go 0.5 north, there's an unmarked parking lot, but it does have a white dot telling you that it's part of the Mountain to Sea Trail, and it is the Green Mountain Trail. So I have always wondered, was Little Rock Pond the clue, the shape, defined Green Mountain Trail? So we have Green Mountain Trail, the same as the Vermont Trail, and it's right off, it's a half a mile. It's pretty moderate to hard trail, but I think the clue is Green Mountain Trail. And then we have Looking Glass Rock Overlook, and I'm hoping that's a Looking Glass. And these are all my mile markers. And then we hit at 414.5. The trail crosses there. So the trail crosses right there. And then at this mile marker, this is actually State Road 1727. So it's really funny that we have a Green Mountain Trail. Now we have a State Road 1727, Crusoe Road. Trust me, there's one in every county, and I have looked at every county and crossed off the ones that were irrelevant. And I just think that's just too coincidental. And then at 409.5, we have Frying Pan Fire Tower. There at 4.8.5, there's Camping, and then we hit Big Bald. again, I put the marker because if I really think Bakersfield had something to do with it, but that's too obvious. But maybe the point is from Bakersville to here. So I sent you a picture of Frying Pan Fire Tower. Is that our high point? And the thing is, the trail, it's at Pisgah Inn. There's all kinds of, and there's camping there, which, like I said, I'm pretty sure that's a campsite to the right of the bear. But when you leave, you come back. And it dead ends. It don't dead end at the fire tower. And I would think most people would stop. It continues to go another mile or two. So, hey, I could be way off the mark, but what the heck? That's my theory, and I'm sticking